Last episode, I told you that AI can handle you confident. The date answer that's completely wrong. Today is worse. Because this time I didn't ask you one question. I chained three steps together, one feeding to the next, and by the third step, the whole thing was wrong in a way that almost slipped right past me. Here's the setup. Three steps, each one using the output of the last. Step 1. Research a competitor. Step 2. Turn that research into summary. Step 3. Turn the summary into a client-ready report. Feels efficient, right? Chain it together, walk away, come back to a finished report, and it's whole appeal. Except someone in step 1, one small thing went sideways, and I didn't notice. Neither did step 2. By step 3, it turned into something that read completely fine but was completely wrong. Step 1, I asked it to pull together what this competitor was doing, pricing, positioning, recent moves. It came back with a solid looking rundown. One line in there said the competitor had recently expanded into a new market. Truish, they did mention it as maybe as we exploring this, not as a done deal. Small distinction didn't seem worth stopping for. So watch what happens to one small distinction. So we continued into step 2 that took research and turned it into a small summary, and exploring a new market quietly became has expanded in a new market. No hinge, no maybe, just as stated as fact, because that's what a clean summary sentence should sound like. Nothing in step 2 was told to double check step 1, it just trusted and moved it on. That's the whole problem when chaining. Each step starts, trust is the number 1 before it. Nobody's checking the same scenes. Now guess, what was step 3 did with a sentence that was completely wrong. Step 3 built the actual client report, and it took it, has expanded into a new market, and it ran with it. Built a whole paragraph of strategic implications around a move that hadn't actually happened yet. Confident, well written, client ready, technically. Sitting right there in the final document was a claim about a competitor that just wasn't true, and it read like the most solid part of the report. If I hadn't gone back and checked against the original source, that goes straight into the client inbox. Here's what actually fixes this. Don't just check the final output and check the seams. The handoff points where one step answers becomes the next step's input. That's where small errors turn into big ones because the nothing questions them. Everything just builds on top. Practically, that means as each handoff. You ask it to flag anything it treats as fact versus anything it's inferring. And that's one distinction, fact versus inference. It is usually enough to catch it before it buries itself 3 steps deep. So if you're training AI tasks together, don't just proofread the finished thing as at the end. Just check every handoff along the way. That's generally the difference between a shortcut and a landmine. So in the next episode, I want to get into something a bit different. That what actually happens when you argue with AI instead of just accepting the first answer. Turns out pushing back changes more than you think. See you in the next one.